People want $3,000 for an arcade unit? You expect me to pay $1,000 for one game? I can't do that. Guys, in this video, you're going to learn how to make a Mame arcade cabinet for very cheap, about a third of what the asking price and the going rate is. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. My YouTube viewers, Retro Pro Frank with another installment, another upload. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me here today. And I want to also apologize for me slacking on the upload. Sorry guys, I've been busy. I made this. I've been busy the last couple of weeks making this and planning this. So this is a Mame arcade cabinet. So it's a multi-arcade emulator machine, okay? So this thing has everything on it. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, Atari, Coleco. I can keep going on and on and on. Most importantly, it has all the arcade games we grew up with. All the arcade games we grew up with. 4-player X-Men, Turtles in Time, all the greatest hits, Capcom versus Marvel versus Capcom, Street Fighter. All the arcade games we grew up with are all on here, right here. So I'm going to go through some of the things you're going to need in order to build this thing, okay? Okay, this is some of the stuff you're going to need to build this cabinet. You're going to need 3/4 inch MDF sheets of 3/4 inch MDF. You're going to need at least 3 sheets. You're going to need wood glue. You're going to need T-molding. Okay, that's this molding here. You're going to need plexiglass for the top of the marquee. You're going to need screws. You're going to need the joysticks with the buttons. You're going to need an LCD TV. You can use a CRT if you want to, keep the price down. You're going to need wheels, coasters, so you can move this heavy sumbitch around. You're going to need some butt hinges for the door. You're going to need a fluorescent light for the top of the marquee. You're going to need an old computer power supply. This will help save you some money. You're going to need some 12-gauge wire. You're going to need some carbon fiber. Now some of the tools you're going to need. You're going to need your standard tools. You're going to need jigsaw, skill saw. You're going to need a drill. You're going to need a sander. You're going to need optional, this is optional, but a router you're going to need with a 1/16 slot bit. Table saw, 5-inch hole cutting bit, 1 1/8 bit for the buttons. And most importantly guys, safety first, you're going to need some dust masks because this stuff shoots off a lot of dust. Alright, before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to my friend Abs out in Australia there. He's got a video, it's like a 7-part video where he goes through step by step on how to make this cabinet pretty close. I went a little bit different than what he had, but I mostly followed him. So guys, links are in the description. Check out Abs, he'll get more in depth on how to actually physically build it, okay? So thanks a lot, Ab, for your upload. You know what? Halfway around the world, we got one pretty close to yours, buddy. So before the build, during the week, I went out and getting supplies here and there so I'd be ready for the weekend. I built this last weekend. That's why I haven't been uploading videos, guys. I've been wrapped up in this stuff, so I apologize to my subscribers. So we had to pick up everything, okay? We had to pick up the speaker system. We had to pick up the computer. We had to pick up the program. We had to pick up everything, okay? So day one, we unloaded all the wood, and we laid out the wood. We started drying out the side panels, okay, of the wood on the table here. It took me an hour and a half to get from that to this. See this wood here? Okay, this is the actual side angles, okay? Now, I want to take my time on this because I wanted to make it look very aggressive, okay? I wanted to follow kind of what Abs was doing on his channel in Australia there, but I didn't want to mimic it 100%, okay? I wanted to make it a little bit different, okay? So it took an hour and a half just to get this one panel cut, and then we did the other side. We laid everything down on the table. We started building everything, okay? Started attaching everything, the wheels, the rollers, okay? Then we actually drilled holes for air vents and the fans to keep everything nice and cool in the system, okay? We don't want to melt our computer inside that box, okay? So we drilled speaker holes and, the cooling system. And we finished the basics on day one. Day two, we added like the sliding cabinet for the keyboard and the mouse, okay? We also drilled holes for the speakers and attached that. We made the joystick, Okay, that took a little bit of time of mapping out the joystick. I didn't know which design I wanted to go with on the joystick. So we went with just a straight 3-3. Okay, nice and simple, classic fighting joystick. Okay, so I went ahead and like Ab did, I actually put the carbon fiber to finish it off. This was a really cheap alternative to paint. Okay, so painting it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper, but it wouldn't have looked like this. Okay, now I've seen some of the graphics available on eBay to put down on your decks there, and they're pretty expensive. Carbon fiber is a great option. It looks beautiful with the black and the blue or any other color, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper. I think I paid about $15 for a roll that I can do this twice with. Okay, guys? So yeah, we hung the door. We actually painted up the whole cabinet. All right. Once we painted up the whole cabinet, we brought it over here, and that wasn't fun at all, guys. Okay, we had to carry this son of a bitch up a flight of stairs. We got it up here. Thank God. I thought I got a hernia from it. Anyway, we brought it up here. We mounted the TV. All right. We got the TV in. All right. So and we mounted it, and we put all the T-molding around. So that's this blue molding here. Okay. Now this molding it's a little bit difficult to get your hands on this molding here in Ontario. I don't know about other places in the world. So your options are pretty much, you either order it off eBay, okay, and when you order it, you can only order it by 20-foot pieces, 20-foot lengths, okay. This machine took 40 feet, okay. In total, it took 40 feet of T-molding, okay. Now on eBay, Canadian for 20 feet was about $40. So if I wanted 40 feet, it would have been $80. That's crazy. So I actually found a place locally, well not too local, but about an hour away from my house there. It's called Palladium. And it's not the Palladium that you guys are thinking of, the Palladium where you go and play video games. It's the Palladium where they actually service video games. So they have an assortment of parts, buttons, controllers, coin doors, marquees. They have tons of stuff like that, okay, over there. So I was able to pick up this T-molding here, this beautiful blue T-molding. I think it was about 57 cents a foot. So for 40 feet it was about 26 bucks. Saved a hell of a lot of money that way, guys. If you guys need parts for your arcade machine and you live in Ontario, order it from Toronto. Even better, if you guys can drive down there, save on the shipping, go straight down to Toronto there, go to Palladium. The store is beautiful. They have beautiful pinball machines there for sale, brand new from the factory, okay? They have brand new Pac-Man arcades. You know what, guys? A little bit expensive. I seen pinball machines there go for $7,000. $7,000. Arcade machines with one single game, they wanted 4 G's for Pac-Man. That's only one game. Anyway, guys, it's going for a ridiculous amount of money, okay? That's why I went with the Mame cabinet, okay? So what a Mame cabinet is it's actually an emulator, okay? So it's a computer running this bad boy. There's no chipboards or nothing. It's actually a computer, okay? So, yeah, now I'm going to go through everything I had to buy to make this work, okay? Well, first off, you need a flat screen TV. If you guys have one at home that's not being used, you guys just got lucky, okay? I used a 32-inch on mine, okay? I wanted to give it a nice, big, bright display, okay? For a computer to run the software, you need at least bare minimum a Pentium 3 or higher. If you go with dual core, it's a lot better, but it's not required, especially if you're sticking with some of the older games. On this system, I'm running a Pentium 4 single core with 2 gigs of RAM with a video card. Now, I must say you need a video card if you're running the older computers, the Pentium 4s and the Pentium 3s. Anything single core, you need a video card. Now, that was a mission in itself to get a video card for this old computer. But yeah, it's running the games beautifully. Why don't you guys have a look at this weekend? I had a few friends over. Why don't you guys have a look at how it's running the games here at the Marvel vs. Capcom tournament that we had here this weekend. Take a look at this. awesome, awesome, awesome. The way this machine is running everything is very smooth, okay? There's no choppiness. Everyone's having a lot of fun here, okay? You can also play such classics as Ninja Turtles on this. So we actually played 4-way Ninja Turtles. I know it's a two controller arcade, but in a sliding drawer, what I've done is I put these guys in there. So if I gotta have a couple people over and we want to play a 4-player game, we just wire these up directly to the PC running this whole thing, and now we got a 4-player arcade cabinet. Pretty smart. Four players doesn't really happen too often, but if it does, at least we have the option that everyone can play at once on the arcade machine. Now, I might upgrade this to a 4-player arcade machine. I can do so. There's still a lot of tweaking I can do to this machine. It would just be a matter of pushing the buttons together more, making a bit bigger of a deck. It wouldn't cost me much time or money to do so. So yeah, so you want to have some fans in there, keeping your system nice and cool, okay? Because it gets really hot in that box that you made where you have your PC, you have your speaker system, you have your TV. It's just creating tons of heat. So what I did was I went ahead and I installed a couple PC fans, just a couple old PC fans from an old PC, drilled some holes, threw them in the back there, like the picture over here. You can see, and it's creating some air movement in there to keep everything nice and cool. Okay, so that's working well. I got that on a switch system, so the top of the arcade, I just flip a switch and the fans go on. Same with the marquee light, that's on a switch system too, so you switch the switch and the top marquee light goes on. Or if you're just at home by yourself, you don't want the marquee light on, it's a waste of power, you just keep it off, you know what I mean? I gave myself the option of that. I must say, if you're going to attempt this build, okay, I have about 15 years in carpentry and construction, okay, on tools basically, okay? I'm not a stranger to tools, I'm not a stranger to construction and making things, okay? Now this took me quite a bit of time. It actually took me a lot longer than what I thought it would. I thought I'd be able to get this all done in one day. That wasn't the case. Me and my friend, one of my helpers at work, he stayed during the whole weekend there. He forfeited his whole weekend to give me a hand, which is very nice. Thanks a lot, G. Anyway, so yeah, it took us the whole weekend, and we still weren't done. So, and then after work, a couple days, I was doing a little bit here, added the glass, you know. So once the TV was in, there was a bit of a gap around, so I added the glass, I marked it out where the edge of the screen was, and I took the glass, I light it down, and I spray painted the back black, so you don't see beyond, okay, so it looks like it's solid, you know, so you just see the screen, you don't see any gaps, very nice and clean. Basically what I'm getting with all this is if you don't have much experience with tools and carpentry, or measuring, or if you don't, you know, if you've never used a jigsaw or a power tool in your life, this might not be the project for you. If you have a friend that knows how to do that, you know, and he's dedicated, then yeah, by all means give it a shot. But if you've never held a power tool in your life, I do not suggest you make this. You might get lucky, but you know, it was a little tough. Some parts were a little tricky for me as well, but I worked through it. It came out great, actually. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for somebody who's never used a power tool in your life. At least if you got like a friend or a brother-in-law or somebody who works with power tools and you can get them to help you, then yeah. So this arcade machine's probably got about 20,000 games on it. So what's on it is a complete Mame list of probably over 1,000 Mame games. Complete NES collections on here, Super Nintendo collections on here, Sega Genesis, Sega 32X, Sega Game Gear, Sega Master System. We also got Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Original. There's also TurboGrafx on here. Guys, there's Atari on here, Atari Classics. There's about 2,000 different games. I thought to myself, if I'm going to make an arcade cabinet or have an arcade cabinet in my house, I'm not going to spend the type of money that people want for one game. Now these emulator machines, I've seen them locally on a local buy and sell classified ad site here in Ontario called Kijiji. People are asking anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for these machines. You guys want to know how much I spent to make this? It cost me $600 out the door, completely done. Yeah guys, you guys could save a hell of a lot of money this way You don't have to spend the $3,000 people want on Kijiji for these machines, which is ridiculous, okay? There's another company too, I think they're called X Arcade, where they actually sell it as a set that they ship it to your house and you put it together almost like IKEA furniture. Guys, they want $700 American just for the cabinet. Never mind the TV that still you got to put in there, the arcade sticks that you got to buy, okay? The computer that you got to supply, okay? I'm talking everything over here cost me $600 done, okay? So another thing about like X Arcade, for example, is they supply really thin, it's like paper weight wood, okay? It's really light, thin wood. I can see that thing falling apart after a couple moves, to be honest with you. With something like this, when you make it yourself, it's solid 3/4 MDF, okay? I would never in a million years buy one of those kits that you put it together yourself. Guys, you know what? If you're not too handy, that might be the way to go. But I don't see that thing lasting long. You know, you move it 3, 4, or 5 times, it's going to loosen everything up and it's going to fall apart. Not to mention, you got to supply the computer, you got to supply the TV still, you got to supply the arcade stick, which, see, those are made to fit their arcade sticks. There's another thing. Their arcade sticks, just for a 2-player, it's called a tank stick or whatever, just for a 2-player, they want over $300 US for the controllers. This thing cost me $100. $100, all the buttons, nice 8-way controllers, okay, $100 with even the wiring harness that came with it, the chipset that runs to the computer, $100, guys. You don't have to spend, you know, that kind of money for an arcade cabinet. Get that out of your mind. If you're a little bit crafty and you can use power tools, you can do this, okay? I'm going to go through a breakdown of some of the prices, okay? The wood was one of the more expensive things that I bought, okay? So the MDF was about, for the 3 sheets, was about $115 Canadian. These are all Canadian prices. The screen, I had this already, so that was perfect. It wasn't even being used. It was like in a second bedroom, not being used, so you know what? Hey, that was pretty much a freebie, okay? The T-molding cost me about 25 bucks. The buttons and the joysticks cost me about 120 bucks, okay? The computer itself running the whole system, get this. I went on Kijiji. I found somebody with an old desktop computer, okay? It came with a monitor and everything, Dell computer. I paid, they wanted $50 for the setup. I offered them $30. They said, yeah, sure, take it. And that's what's running this beast, and it's running it great. $30 Pentium 4. Running this machine great, okay? I did add a graphics card that I had to hunt down, but you know what? It's running fine, okay? Yeah, so out the door, it was about $600 out the door, and you know what? I saved myself a hell of a lot of money. You can't even buy a crappy arcade game, let's say like the game Mr. Do. You can't even buy that cabinet for $600, and you're going to get sick of that one game. This thing's got over 20,000 games on it, guys. It's friggin' amazing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set up the interface. I'll let you guys see the interface. Hold up. Alright, boys and girls, here's the interface here. So on each game it does show, these are just the favorites that we added over the course of 2 days. We've actually played all these. So it does show like the original cabinet on the interface. And it does show like, you know, Alien vs. Predator. It gives a little brief description and shows a screenshot of it. If we go up to here, okay, we go to available arcades, you could see, you know, how many there there are here. These are all arcade classics. These aren't Nintendo or Super Nintendo. These were everything, sorry about the glare, guys. These are everything released on Mame. So you can see all the games there. Chippendale, Player 10. Okay, so it shows the cabinet, the Player 10 cabinet. Okay, and you can just keep going. DD Crew, this is like pure 90s game. Okay, guys, there's a lot of the ones that, you know, you play, like Double Dragon. There's a Neo Geo edition Double Dragon. There's a Japan edition Double Dragon. There's Double Dragon 3. Like, and it shows the arcade cabinet, and it shows like brief description. If you want to play something, all you got to do is click on something and it boots right up. You know, you got Gauntlet, you got everything you can think of. Okay, guys, anything you can think of is on here. Okay. For example, let's say you want to play Predator vs. Alien. All you got to do, double click on it, give it a second. It takes a second to load, and there we go. See, it's already starting to load. Hi, guys. Sorry, I don't know another way of doing this, so, alright. So you just add a couple credits. Turn the volume up here. Whoa, that's really loud. And you just press start. And it takes you right into the game there.
Select your collecting.
Pure arcade, guys. Like this guy.
Round 1.
See, everything works here. There's no delay whatsoever, guys. Alright guys, so yeah, so that's about it. That's how it works, okay? We do have, me and a couple friends of mine, we're all chipping in and we're getting a program called Hyperspin, which is actually, it's a front end, okay? So it runs the whole CPU, and it's friggin' awesome, guys. Once I get that, I will do an update video and show you guys on how it runs like that, guys. But this thing is 100% arcade feel, okay? The controllers, everything, no delay, running smoothly, guys. You guys, if you guys are handy, you guys have a couple extra bucks lying around, you guys make one of these, you won't be disappointed, okay? You can find the ROMs anywhere, guys, okay? Okay, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different places. Let's just put it this way. Google's a beautiful place to find stuff. Anything. You can find anything on Google, right? Anyway, guys, I want to give a shout out to Abs out there in Australia. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Please check out his channel on how he actually makes these arcades. He doesn't just make this style. He actually makes bar top arcade styles, and he's very informative. Okay, guys, if you guys want to check out a very informative channel, okay, please subscribe to his channel as well. Okay, guys? So this is Retro Pro Frank saying thanks for watching, guys, and I'm out. Guys, thanks for watching the video. If you guys like this video, go ahead and press the like button below, and you guys can leave some comments below in the comment section of the video. Please share this video on Facebook pages to your friends and family, as well as if you guys like this video, please subscribe. This is Retro Pro Frank. Thanks for watching. I'm out.